Good evening and welcome to Sports Talk in the Burgh. I'm your host, Brett McGulick, joined today by Nate Fennell and Nick Evans. Gentlemen, how are we?
Doing good. How are you?
Fantastic, man. Glad to be back on the desk for you. But it's been a while since we've last seen you guys, but we're back. We're happy to have you here. A lot has happened in the world of sports since the last time we saw you. So NFL free agency grades, the Pirates preview, including some hot takes coming up here later in the show. But let's just get right into our discussion today. While the tool shed may have locked its doors for the year and Moon Township is over, we are right in the middle of March Madness. Heading in to the Sweet 16 starting tomorrow, every year we see a fair share of Cinderella runs, creating news and making March so memorable. However, this year, going into the games this week, only 2 teams in the Sweet 16 are below a 5 seed. So does this mark the end of the Cinderella runs in March? Nate, what do you think about this?
Yeah, Brett, it's over. I mean, this is back-to-back years now that we have had, 13 through 16 seeds. There's been 0 of them advancing into the second round, and that is, it being back-to-back is the first time ever, so that's awesome, you know. But otherwise, we're going to maybe have a few upsets here and there in the second round, like we saw with Iowa taking down Florida. But in terms of those real underdog stories coming from those really high-seeded teams like 13 through 16, you're not going to see it much anymore. Like there's only like you see on that graphic right there, 1 remaining double-digit seed, and Nick, that is the Texas Longhorns, an SEC team with about as much money available to them as any team in college basketball. So how could there be any more Cinderellas? It's over.
Well, I don't think this is so much an emphasis on the fact that Cinderellas are gone. I think it's just the fact that this year's talent at the top is loaded. And I think this happens every now and again. I mean, this happened back in 2007 where there was very minimal upsets. There was some bid stealers this year, like Navy didn't get to the tournament. Navy was a team that people thought might have been able to pull off an upset.
They wouldn't have done anything.
High Point just knocked off Wisconsin. VCU knocked off UNC. And you just mentioned it, Texas. But I think some teams pushed to the brink, like Siena pushed Duke to the brink. We had Furman give UConn a little bit of a run for their money. Wright State gave Virginia a little run of their money. I just don't think that it was the year. I don't think we need to overreact. I'd say it's a fluke year. I don't think that this is a long-standing trend, because as long as the sport goes, there will be upsets. There will be Cinderella runs.
Well, Nick, I'm sorry, but all of this almost would be great in horseshoes, but this is basketball. It's just not working in this. You need to finish. You need to win the games. Siena needs to put a full 40 minutes to beat Duke. We're not seeing that anymore.
One thing I do want to bring up, and I think the biggest reason probably of why we're not seeing those Cinderella stories, is the new NIL. We're seeing so many people transfer in the mess that is the transfer portal right now. Just being at Robert Morris, we kind of see that head on. Like when you see these guys kind of playing so well here, and then they just move on to bigger schools. So I think if these teams do well, like the Sienas, why wouldn't those guys just transfer to a bigger Power 5 school?
Yeah, but they need to make their name at the smaller school. They have a lot to play for. So I think that drive to want to be on a higher team and succeed will eventually lead us back to the Cinderellas. I just think this year the talent is just too loaded at the top.
I mean, talent is loaded. I guess we'll have to wait till next year to see maybe if we can find another Cinderella story, hopefully waiting for us. But let's continue with the March Madness discussion. Just because the zero to hero stories are dwindling doesn't mean the stars haven't been out in the biggest month of basketball. But which star has shined the most in the 2026 tournament? Nick, who is your biggest star so far this year?
Well, I couldn't decide on one star player that I could really hone in on, and so I decided to pick a team that is back for revenge this year. They lost in the championship last year. I'm talking about Houston. Houston had dominant wins over Idaho and Texas A&M. They're coming off that second place finish, which is not what I think will happen this year. I think they're going to get to a championship this year. They play solid, strong basketball. They shot from 50% from the field in their game against Idaho, and they spread the scoring around. They had guys on their bench that were scoring, and they played Texas A&M, who is not a bad team. That's an SEC team, and they destroyed them. They beat them by 31. I think that this is a very complete team. I think it's a team that is not going to have trouble with competition, getting to the Final Four, getting to the championship, and I really like what is happening down in Houston right now.
Nick,
Nate, your pick.
that's a pretty lame pick, if I'm being honest.
It's the right pick. It's who I see right now dominating the tournament.
It's a high-seeded team living up to expectation. Let me give you a team who's been overplaying their expectation. The Iowa Hawkeyes in their first round had their way with Clemson. And then in the second round, Alvaro Folgueras put them on top with 4 seconds remaining up on 1-seeded Florida. I mean, this team is
Florida's overrated.
The first team to take
Florida was
down
overrated
the
coming in the
1 seed.
tournament. We all knew it.
What?
If UConn hadn't blown it at the end of the year, they would have been in that 1 seed over Florida, and everybody knew it. I think Houston was a better team than Florida.
So just because you think Florida should be a 2 seed instead of a 1 seed,
it's impressive.
you're
It's
still not
impressive. I won't
impressed
deny it.
By the 9 seed, you are just saying how you still believe in Cinderella runs right here, Nick. This is your best chance. This is all you're gonna get this year.
All right. I do want to throw another team in the mix for you guys to maybe debate on a little bit. One of the teams that I was really thinking about, I think Nate, your guys, the Texas Longhorns, man. I mean, they've been kind of balling out of nowhere as well. I mean, they've went from the first 4 to the Sweet 16. They've had 3 straight wins in only 5 days. Their defense kind of locked in out of nowhere. I mean, they are the lowest remaining seed in this tournament. What about these Longhorns, man? I mean, I think they've really been exceeding expectations, but
Yeah,
I think they've
Titus,
kind of got
the
it.
big man for the Longhorns, had some real defensive issues down the end of the stretch of the regular season in that first game in the SEC tournament. But as you saw against Graham Ike in that second round game, he really locked in. And Sean Miller was challenging to get his hands up. So I'm glad I was the only person to go outside of the state of Texas with my pick. And yeah, go
Texas
with the
has some
Iowa
good
Hawkeyes.
teams.
They've
Nick's
been
Texas
the
has
same.
good
Nick
teams.
just picked a 2 seed, but that's neither there or there. But let's move on a little bit here. We're going to stick in the realm of best on best competition, but switch this over to the World Baseball Classic. Trying to bank off the success of the Olympic hockey teams, but unfortunately this time around, Freebird was not played for the USA team. For the second World Baseball Classic in a row, USA loses in the championship game. Is this team still the best in baseball, or did they kind of lose that mark? Nate, is this still the best team in baseball?
It's really hard to say that they are, considering we literally just watched them lose to Venezuela. But yes, USA is still the best in baseball, and I really don't think it's close. If Skubal cared to try, or if DeRosa cared to throw his best pitchers, USA would have beaten Venezuela.
What if? USA baseball's becoming the Pirates, everybody. You're basing it on what ifs. We have 2 straight World Baseball Classics where USA, the sport where baseball literally is played, the country where baseball is being played, cannot win the tournament. They got beat by Venezuela, Venezuela's first ever World Baseball Classic. They got beat by Japan, who has Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani carried them. This team doesn't care. They don't care. They showed up wearing hockey jerseys and expected to have aura put them over the top. You had guys like Aaron Judge ghost. You had guys like Skubal leave the tournament and say that he thought it was going to be an all-star competition. They lost 3-2 in the championship. Their bats were cold. The other time that they played against Japan, bats were cold. It's not a team that I can say is the best because they don't look like they want to be the best. Their manager did not put out a roster that he thought was going to be the best. He didn't know the rules well enough in a game against Italy where he almost blew it and they had to rely on another team getting them into the next round. He benched PCA, he benched Gunnar Henderson, and the bats were cold. How can you say it's the best team in baseball when they didn't win the tournament? They haven't won it twice in a row now.
I gotta stick with Nick on this one here, man. I mean, as like Nick, you said it. I mean, the talent's there, but like, if they're not doing it, if they're not doing anything with all that talent, why would this team be the best team in baseball?
There's nothing. There's no heart. You watch the Dominican Republic guys fly around the bases.
Team. By far the most talented team, but DeRosa needs to go. There needs to be a new manager. I mean, he's a TV personality. I mean, it's like taking me out there, making me the manager. I mean, I love baseball, but I shouldn't be managing the team.
It was an awful showing. It was absolutely an awful showing.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break here. We're starting to get heated a little bit there, so let's calm it down, take a little break. But coming up next, we have some big news regarding the Pirates' opening day roster and the return of my amazing Pirates hot takes. Will this be just as bad as last year, or did I finally hit one out of the park? This and more when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
We discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure
Pure love.
love.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Sports Talk in the Burgh. It's my second favorite time of the year, behind hockey season obviously, but it's Bucko baseball time, baby. Opening day for the Pirates is tomorrow as they take on the New York Mets to open the 2026 campaign. Ahead of the matchup, Don Kelly has released his opening day roster, but one big name is missing from it. The biggest prospect in baseball, Connor Griffin, will start the season in the minor leagues, not being on the main roster. Do you guys agree with this pick to keep him down? Nick, what do you think about this?
I'm very, very torn on this because the idea of Connor Griffin is awesome. He's obviously shown he has the power. He hit the home runs. I just don't think he's ready. I mean, he's an 18-year-old kid. He's never played AAA ball before. I mean, 7 hits all spring, 13 strikeouts, nothing really to flash in front of your eyes or anything there. And we all remember Jackson Holliday and how highly touted he was as a prospect, and he got to the MLB, and he really wasn't anything to start with. I mean, he eventually found his own there, but I don't think you can bring a guy in who has not even played at AAA and expect him to be on the opening day roster and be an everyday shortstop when we don't even know what Triolo and Gonzalez and York can give us in that area. I mean, we're going to see Triolo start at shortstop, and he's got great defense. We saw it. He won an award for it. I'm excited to see what he brings, and I do think that Connor Griffin's going to eventually get his chance this year.
Nick, I can tell you what Jared Triolo is going to bring. He's going to bring solid defense, like you said, and then he's going to swing a wet noodle. He can't hit. It's going to be about 200 batting average, and then you're going to be hard-pressed to find anybody who supports Nick Gonzalez as much as I do. But the simple fact is, if this team wants to make the playoffs, which they should, they have a limited window remaining with Paul Skeens on this team, Connor Griffin needs to be on this roster. And it is simply good business having Connor Griffin on this roster, simply like it was good business to have Paul Skeens on the roster on opening day.
But Paul Skeens ended up starting in the minors.
They simply did not learn from their mistake with Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens could have been on the opening day roster and succeeded just as much as he did. And if he was on the opening day roster, guess what? PPI would have come into effect, and the Pirates would have received a bonus pick at the end of the first round. And you know what? They didn't learn from it. Instead, they got yet another generational talent in Connor Griffin, and they're throwing away their chance to receive a PPI pick. You see right here, a player has to either be on the team as the team breaks camp or called up within 2 weeks. I'm sorry, if they're sending him down to AAA this fast, they're simply not going to call him up. They don't have the plans of it. They're going to lose that year of service time when Connor Griffin goes top 2 in Rookie of the Year this year, and they're not going to receive a pick when he wins Rookie of the Year. It's waste of your talent.
I don't think that that's a problem for the Pirates organization. I look at their AAA lineup. They have all the guys they need right now.
Who?
They have Justin Garcia. They've got Jake Mangum on the roster right now. You just saw Valdez was
Jake
raking.
Is like
Connor Griffin himself.
Years old.
All right, gents. I think it's time we got to move on here, and I think it's time that I kind of drop my own little opinion on how the Pirates are going to do.
Not again.
Great.
It is time. The moment you've all been waiting for, the moment I've certainly been waiting for. It's time to redeem myself. Very similar to the 2025 Pirates, last year I completely struck out with my 3 hot takes. Bednar traded to the Yankees at the end of July. Saying Cruz underperformed would be an absolute understatement, and I somehow could not have been more wrong about the Pirates' record last season. But this year is different. So let's get into my 2026 Pirates hot takes. Starting with a mild take, this spot last year was reserved for Bednar and the defense. But let's go to the offensive side of the ball. The Pirates finished the last in baseball in total offense last year, but this year the offense is completely revamped. And this year they will finally have at least a league average offense, maybe even a little better. The offseason brought in some much needed help in the batter's box. Silver Slugger Brandon Lowe, powerhouse Marcell Ozuna, Jig Mangum, and Ryan O'Hearn coming off a career year in his first All-Star appearance. They also combine with Brian Reynolds, which when he decides to hit will be good, and a healthy O'Neal Cruz, who looked fantastic in the spring training and the World Baseball Classic. We could see the crack at the top half of the MLB for the Pirates this season's end. But now let's heat things up just a little bit. Last year, this spot went to O'Neal Cruz, and him being the team MVP of 2025. Now, Cruz and I had something in common. We both struck out a lot last year, but I'm going to stick with the Cruz missile for this one. I think I was just a year too early. I'm going to double down on Cruz again this year. Actually, no, I'm going to triple down on Cruz. Get rid of the team MVP. O'Neal Cruz is going to finish top 5 in National League MVP voting this season. During the World Baseball Classic, Cruz posted a .600 batting average in 4 games, notching 4 RBIs and a pair of homers. In spring training appearances, Cruz posted a .370 average with another pair of home runs, along 6 RBIs. MLB.com also listed Cruz as a dark horse candidate to win the National League's highest honor. So don't be surprised if Cruz uses this momentum to carry him to become the first Pirate to win the MVP since Andrew McCutchen in 2013. All right, do I still have everybody? Here is the hottest one of them all. Last year, the Pirates did quite the opposite of what I said they would in terms of record, but once again, I think I was just a year too early. Not only are the Pirates going to go above 500 this year, but the Buccos are going to reach the National League Championship for the first time since 1992. When you think of postseason success in recent years, you don't think of the Pirates. The Pirates haven't been to the playoffs since 2015. They haven't scored a postseason run since 2013. But you can argue that this Pirates team is different. Led by Cy Young winner Paul Skeens, this team has the tools to make a deep run after a decade of no Bucktober. Do you need bats? They had the additions. Do you need young guys? They had the further fireballer in Bubble Chandler and MLB #1 prospect and the Rookie of the Year candidate, Connor Griffin. This team has the ability to make a run if the Pirates were to attempt a return to the National League Championship Series, a feat which hasn't happened since Barry Bonds' final year in the black and gold. I would not be shocked if this is the team that can get it done. All right, gentlemen, I did it once again. I'm going to toss it over to you guys, see what you guys think.
I may be sipping the Kool-Aid a little bit, but Brett, I'm with you for the most part on this playoff success. I mean, that NLCS, it seems a little ambitious, but I do have the Pirates making the playoffs this year. So.
I think it would have been a hot take just to have the Pirates going above 500 with how this team is going, all the way to the NLCS.
Yep, it's going to happen. These are hot takes, Nick.
That would be way too hot for me to handle. That's a hot that none of us have ever felt before.
Well, you better get ready for October, buddy.
And I see you're holding the Pirates to a very, very high standard when you said they're going to have an average offense. That's that average offense take them to the NLCS. That's a big
It could be better than the
there.
average. I've started to learn a little bit from my past mistakes. You got to keep it a little bit down low.
I don't think you've
except for
learned
the
at all.
last two.
Those picks were awful.
Nick, I think
the first one wasn't, though.
Nick, the thing you're forgetting is all they really needed last year was an average offense to take them to the NLCS.
I would agree.
So if they get that this year, I think we might just see him there, and I'll be buying tickets, that's for sure.
I'm also going to be buying tickets, but let's take another break here. Got a little bit heated with that one, so we're gonna take a small break here. But when we come back, here on Sports Talk in the Burgh. NFL free agency is officially live, and it's been here for a few weeks. We give our grades. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, sweetie. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. You don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in like 400 of my posts.
I can cut out tags.
No, that's not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.
So recently, Gallo has been on quite a run of good shows lately.
I was a big opponent to beat there, but now they move on to the Three Rivers Classic where they've had some pretty good history in it. We're going to take a look at some of these games. They've won it a couple times. We're going to move on into that.
But it's led to the group starting to question his morals.
And that's when I said, you can't wear a sweater vest. Ian Kist wore a sweater vest. Hang on. It's go time. You seeing this? You seeing these?
Can't believe
You seeing this literature? Hey, Gallo!
Yo, what's up?
What about these PEDs?
Huh? No.
Get on the ground!
It's a shame. Always happens to the best. That's it.
Welcome back to Sports Talk in the Burgh. We are officially 2 weeks into NFL free agency, and some teams have made some star moves to start the offseason. The Steelers being one of those teams. But what letter grade would you guys give the Steelers in their offseason efforts so far? Nick, grade this offseason so far.
Well, I'm not going to go fully optimist. I'm going to give it about a B+ because we don't exactly have a quarterback yet. But I will say, in all honesty, I think that this is the best free agency in the league. I think that the Steelers made all the right signings. I mean, they upgraded their secondary by adding Jamel Dean and Jaquan Brisker. That was beautiful signings there. They re-signed Asante Samuel. Pair that with already having Joey Porter and Jalen Ramsey. That's perfect. They traded for Michael Pittman. Receiver was a very big problem last year. We upgraded from Calvin Austin to Michael Pittman. And it was not expensive at all. We didn't have to waste our draft capital on it. We got the defensive line depth with Joseph Day. We know that the defensive line injuries happen a lot. Rico Dowdle was cheaper than Gainwell, and he was a very, very strong running back last year, just like Gainwell. And I think him and Warren are going to be a perfect backfield duo. They just need to add a little bit to the interior offensive line and figure out the quarterback situation.
See, Nick, I think I'm a little more worried about the offensive line than you are then, because, you know,
they need to add to it. We all know they need to add to it.
Well, it's more than just they need to add to it. Are you fully confident in Dylan Cook or Broderick Jones going into next year? I mean, personally, I'm not. Like
Dylan Cook was great at the end of the year. I really liked what I saw.
Dylan Cook showed you something over what, like 5 games? I mean,
Did you see who was going against in those 5 games?
I'm not fully ready to buy in on all of that. I'm still a little bit worried about that side of the offensive line.
Just look at the players that they signed this year, though.
And then the thing I'm worried about even more, Nick, is the quarterback position.
It's going to be Rodgers. We all know it's going to be Rodgers.
Listen, I understand they weren't really going to do anything.
Even someone with a little
the simple
tiny,
fact that me and you both know, the fact that me and you both know it's Rodgers, and you seem to be a little more excited about that than I am.
I am as well. I am a Rodgers guy. I fully believe in that too.
What are you guys
I think we give another
expecting?
year
MVP
Rodgers, for sure.
Rodgers out here?
I'm expecting another strong Rodgers season, as we've seen under a head coach McCarthy that he knows the offense
Rodgers,
will be improved.
I mean, did you watch the Texans game? We are not. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not. Are you hearing me? Are not going to win a playoff game.
You just brought up the Texans, which was
Rodgers.
last season. You just brought up the Texans when we had Mike Tomlin, when we didn't have Michael Pittman, when our secondary
You know who we
was
did
trash.
have? The Steelers had Aaron Rodgers.
All right, well, let's move on here. Let's test your guys' ball knowledge. So, all right, to end the show today, we're going to test our talent's ball knowledge of some of the free agent signings around the NFL. I have 6 players here, so 3 players for each. Nate and Nick, your job is to tell me which team they play for once I read their names. Each team, it's going to get a little bit harder. Nate is going to get us started. I will read the player name, and you will have to tell me who he plays for. Both of you guys can steal if the other doesn't know the answer. So, Nate, your name to start, Mike Evans. Who does he play for?
Oh, we're starting easy, I guess.
It's easy. That's how we start. We get a little bit harder every time.
Yeah, so San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, good job. Easy start. So
Wow.
let's just get things warmed up a little bit.
I mean, I can't believe he left the Bucks. That one's really disappointing.
3 years too.
Yeah,
That's a lot of years.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a guy who's up there in age. I don't know.
Especially coming off an injured season.
I guess they really didn't trust Ricky Pearsall, and they're sad that Brandon Ayuk told him to kick rocks, but I guess they'll figure it out.
All right, Nick, I'll move on to you. Your first player is Malik Willis.
Oh, I already know who that is because they just upgraded from a very bad quarterback to a great quarterback.
Bad.
And I'm talking about the Miami Dolphins. They just got rid of everyone around him. He's in a bad situation now. I mean, he's got Devon Achane, but who knows how long he'll stay around. I've already seen some trade rumors floating around about him.
Can I ask you guys a question? Why did they waste that money on Malik Willis when Quinn Ewers is on the team?
All right, let's go. Next player.
Better allocated to giving him some money.
Let's move this a little bit. Let's crank up the heat a little bit. Nate, your next player is Boye Mafe.
Oh. Wow. Jeez. Well, the Raiders signed a lot of people, so I'm going to say the Raiders.
Nope. Nick, do you know?
I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts.
Both of you guys are wrong. It is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Who cares about them?
I should have known that one.
Almost as bad as the Browns.
All right. Oh, shout out our producer there. Love you, Joey. Our next one for Nick, Kevin Byard. He's your next pick.
I forgot Kevin Byard was still even playing. This is not one that I remember, honestly. I'm gonna
throw out a guess.
I'm gonna throw out a pick here, and I'm gonna say Seattle Seahawks.
Nope. Nate, any guess?
I think I know this one. Is it the New England Patriots?
It is the New England Patriots. Another one for Nate.
What kind of Patriots jersey is that?
Nate, you actually have another one here.
Oh.
Your next pick. We're
boy.
moving on. These ones are definitely be a lot harder. Your final two. Andrew Wingard.
Who?
Andrew Wingard.
Can I get a position?
No.
Wow.
You don't know this legend, Nate?
Do you know this legend?
You got to give your guess first, man.
NFC team.
NFC team?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
Nope. Nick, your guess.
I mean, this guy looks like a guy who's built for the Detroit Lions.
Nope. Both of you are wrong.
Looks like Alex Anzalone.
It's the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh.
Arizona Cardinals. All right.
Signing.
Nick, your final player, Joseph Osai.
Joseph Osai.
Mm-hmm.
I know the answer.
You do?
I do.
What is it?
Baltimore Ravens.
No.
He was a Raven.
I
thought he was
no longer a Raven. Nate, do you have a guess?
Well, I already won, right?
You did win.
I don't want to have to guess if I don't.
Nate's scared he doesn't know ball.
All right, test my ball knowledge.
AFC?
AFC?
Whoa, he's getting a hint that I didn't get.
Yeah, Tennessee Titans.
Nope, you're both wrong. New York Jets. They're kind of irrelevant, so I guess that one doesn't really matter. But really quickly, before we end here, we just have a little bit of time left. What is like a very impactful signing you guys have seen before, just to wrap up the show today?
Well, the Steelers, I'm not sure if it was yesterday, a couple of days ago, but I saw them sign Travis Homer. I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, he really.
This guy's a clown.
He's better than Caleb Johnson, so he might have an impact on this team.
All right.
Nick,
I don't know what he's
answer?
talking about, but I'm going to say one that is flying very much under the radar is Kyler Murray. He's being put in a great QB situation with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. I think that is a perfect situation for him to succeed, way better than Travis Homer Simpson. I don't know who he's talking about here.
He should be a Steeler. Kyler Murray should be a Steeler, just like Travis Homer.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching today. Back to have you here on Sports Talk in the Burgh. We will see you again next week.